Ambazonia hoye! Ambazonia hoye! I want each and every one of us here to believe in our freedom.
Yes.
Everyone here believe that Amazonia is free.
Yes.
After raising down more than 500 villages, we are not going to take no for an answer.
Yes.
The restoration forces from the northern to the southern zone have declared their intention to fight to the finish line.
Yes.
We are not going to sit down again to accept servitude from La République du Cameroon.
Yes.
The people of Ambazonian are standing up tall to tear this building. All the delegates in this building, that we are going to hang our flag here in the soonest times possible.
Yes.
The flag of Amazonia must fly here. The flag of Amazonia must fly here. The flag of Amazonia must fly here. All the forces on Ground Zero, we are determined to fight alongside you guys down there to make sure we deliver results. Amazonia must be free. Believe in your freedom. Believe in your total and unconditional freedom. The restoration forces of the northern zone, we say thank you. The restoration forces of the southern zone, we say thank you. We are gathered here today in unison with all the Amazonians, world all over, that we are going to free ourselves or we will fight till thy kingdom come. Ambazonia must be free. Ambazonia hoye! Ambazonia hoye! Believe in your freedom. The Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, the ANSC, Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council, has a promise for all of you here, and to all the people on Ground Zero, and all Ambazonia all across the world. We are going to deliver freedom. Never a day we are going to lay down our arms again. Never a day we are going to lay down our arms again. Ambazonia must be free. Freedom must come, and freedom must come right now. Believe in your freedom. I love you all. The Ambazonian National Self-Defense Council love all of you. Believe in your freedom. Thank you, Ambazonia.
That was Comrade Nestor.
That was
the spokesperson for the
ANSC. We needed here to know that at least our restoration fighters are as motivated as we are, and that they will deliver for us what we expect. So at this time, I would like to. Can you hear me well? Yeah. Okay. At this time, I would like to take over this stage now and put a couple of culprits on trial. But before I put them on trial, I would like to say exactly, following from what Comrade Langmi just said, that the one thing we must never again do is to allow ourselves to be defenseless. We must never again allow ourselves to be defenseless, because that's the only reason in 1972 when Ahijo decided to march into our territory. I want to emphasize here about that 1972, because when we talk about the struggle, that is the day when the dark clouds came over the skies of the southern Cameroon. 20th May of 1972. We must take note of that. It is not 1960, nothing before that was as consequential as what happened on the 20th of May 1972. The day that Ahijo decided to move his gendarmes and military into our territory, intimidate our then leaders because they were defenseless. Following on what he said, that we must never allow ourselves again to be defenseless, because we had nobody to defend us. We only had the mobile wing police. They could not stand against the gendarmes and the military. So our leaders were cornered. And saying that they had nothing to do with their bare hands, they had to go with whatever Ahijo told them. So we must make sure that we provide what our boys on the ground need to build them up, not just for now, but for the future. That henceforth, the Ambazonian people must have a military that is capable of defending them. Okay. In order for me, I'm not a barrister, but I hope Barrister So will excuse me for any flaws I may make in this trial. Yes. This time is Judge Michael presiding. And I thank you, the jury, for coming in to render your services to Ambazonians.
Chief jury.
Yeah. So this is the case. The case is made is the defendants.
Yes.
Those whose fingerprints were found on the crimes around the crime scene are La République du Cameroon and France.
Yes.
Those are the two culprits.
Yes.
And these two culprits have two co-defendants. And these are the United Kingdom or Britain and the United Nations.
Yes.
They are the co-defendants in this case.
Yes.
Now, what do I have to prove my case? I have the evidence. There was a so-called referendum, but that referendum had no basis because the document that was used in the establishment of that referendum or the results thereof was false. And I have the document right here. This is the ballot paper. Here is a ballot paper that was used during that referendum. To those of us who may not read French, here is oui, and here is yes. And oui is yes, and yes, of course, is yes, implying that there was no option for a no. Now, if you look at the results, I don't know how many of you have looked at the percentage of approval of this referendum. Was 99.9%.
Oh my God.
99.9% approval of this referendum. And the percentage participation rate was 98.2. Now, you tell me any election anywhere in the world where 99.9% of the people will approve whatever motion. That means even there were no sick people that day. That is nothing could have gone. 99.9% is just as 100%.
Right.
So, based on this evidence and this evidence alone, I will want you to pass the verdict on these two defendants.
Guilty.
Now,
As charged. Guilty of fraud.
now the defendants charged, the defendants here mentioned being La République du Cameroun and France are charged with the following crimes:
Okay.
fraud,
Yes. Yes.
criminal exploitation, extortion,
Yes.
false imprisonment,
Yes.
Guilty.
wanton destruction of property,
Guilty.
arson,
Guilty.
rape,
Guilty.
looting,
Guilty.
torture,
Guilty.
money laundering,
Guilty.
murder,
Guilty.
genocide, and crimes against humanity.
Guilty.
All right.
Guilty.
3 counts.
Now, I was reading those just so you know the crimes that are coming. Now, I will actually call for the crimes now, and for each crime, I'll call for you to convict or to convict the defendants based on the crime. I want the court registrar to take note. On the case of fraud against La République du Cameroun and France, how do you find the defendant?
Guilty as charged.
On the case of criminal exploitation,
Guilty. Double guilty.
on the case of extortion,
Guilty.
on the case of false imprisonment,
Guilty.
Guilty.
on the case of wanton destruction of property,
Guilty.
on the case of arson,
Guilty.
on the case of rape,
Guilty.
on the case of looting,
Guilty.
torture,
Guilty.
money laundering, murder, and genocide and crimes against humanity.
Guilty.
All guilty. Thank you very much. Now we'll go to the co-defendants.
Okay.
We'll go to the co-defendants. And the first co-defendant will be the United Nations.
Yeah.
The United Nations is here charged as a co-defendant with the following crime: aiding and abetting in the commission of the crimes mentioned above. All of them.
Guilty.
Find United Nations guilty.
Guilty.
Secondly, crimes against the second co-defendant, the United Kingdom, what you call Britain. Willful negligence leading to the commission, willful negligence leading to the commission of the crimes mentioned above. Guilty. Secondly, slavery or engaging in slave trade.
Guilty.
You know that by handing us over to French Cameroon, that they were
sold.
trading us as
Yes,
we were
yes,
slaves.
yep.
So they are guilty of those two crimes.
Yeah.
Now, by the verdict of this very hardworking jury present here,
Yes.
you have found these defendants guilty. Now it goes to the sentencing phase.
Yep.
The guilty shall be held responsible for the following. The first thing we would like to see is the restoration of the independence of the Southern Cameroons. That's what they're charged with. They have to restore the independence of the Southern Cameroons.
Yes.
Second, reparations paid to the people of the Southern Cameroons, Ambazonians, for the lives lost,
Yes.
criminal exploitation,
Yes.
looting,
Yes.
extortion,
Yes.
destruction of property,
Yes.
forced imprisonment,
Yes.
and pain and suffering.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, they have to pay us with that because our people have suffered a lot. Now, contrary to what La République has always said that we are one and indivisible, we can understand that that is completely false.
Yes.
The very fact that we could not get into their territory at that time without what they call a laissez-passer.
That's it. Yeah.
We had to have a laissez-passer to get into their territory. And if you didn't have it and you get in there, you could be arrested. That was proof of the fact that we were two separate countries
Countries,
that,
yes.
that were forced to come together.
Yes.
Now, at this point, France being the main sponsor of French Cameroon, let me have that placard. This is France here. This is France. The fat adult baby. France is a fat adult baby that will not stop eating and will not let Ambazonia take even one spoon. You can see how fragile Ambazonia is because France is taking everything. And it is time that we ram that spoon down the throat of France.
Yes.
Right.
We should have to choke that
it.
France with the spoon.
Yeah.
We cannot allow France to continue eating everything that is ours, of course. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the verdict I have. First of all, would like to very much again thank this jury for your hard work and service to Ambazonia. It is very much appreciated. Yes, I would like Paris and so to follow up and smooth things where it didn't go very well.
Listen, everything went well. The other thing I want to emphasize is I didn't want to talk about history, but let me talk about it. In 1953,
It's going to be hard to hear through the mask.
in 1953,
Yes.
our people met in Mamfe in an all-party conference. And in that conference, a British ambassador was present. And the question of joining either Nigeria or Cameroon did not arise. The question was our independence or joining Nigeria.
Right.
Joining La République of Cameroon was not even on the agenda in the Mamfe conference. It wasn't in the agenda in the Mamfe conference. And at the end of that conference, the delegates voted 67% for independence of the Southern Cameroon. What did the United Nations do? Britain and France entered, I don't know what kind of agreement, went to the United Nations and claimed that we were economically not viable in violation of the Charter and Resolution 1514. Let me make this clear to every Ambazonian if you don't know. The plebiscite in 1961 was illegal, was uncalled for because it did not take into consideration the vote of the people of the Southern Cameroon in Manfe. Therefore, we will be arguing in all the courts, wherever it is, that referendum, that what they call the plebiscite, was against the people of the Southern Cameroon. It was not in conformity with the aspirations of our people, as indicated in the Charter of the same United Nations. Some misguided Cameroonian has gone on the air in La République du Cameroon and said, oh, we cannot sign the Charter of the United Nations, we cannot cite the Resolution 1608 because we were not and we are still not members of the United Nations. You call those lawyers? Any law that is passed by a sovereign nation or a group of sovereign nations, like the United Nations, it's applicable to all the 7 billion people in the world. And therefore, it can be challenged anywhere. Only for La République du Cameroon to say we cannot challenge it because we are not members. You see how dishonest frogs are?
Oh, yeah.
So, that is the first correction. The second correction I wanted to make, we are in the Gulf of Guinea. Our territory is located in the Gulf of Guinea, not near the Gulf of Guinea. I make this correction publicly so that we should know that all the oil that La République du Cameroon is pumping in the Gulf of Guinea is our property.
Stealing.
It's our property that's been stolen. So anytime you do any communique, when you want to talk about the Gulf of Guinea, please be informed that the Gulf of Guinea is in Ambazonia. It's not near, Ambazonia is not near the Gulf of Guinea. Ambazonia is in the Gulf of Guinea. And I call on all Ambazonians, the billionaires in the United States. Because we have a lot of billionaires in this country. We have a lot of Ambazonians who are billionaires. Give us $5 million. Somebody will go and say, Barrister Fru wants $5 million. Let me tell you why. We need $5 million to blow up those rigs. Those rigs, there are about 4 or 5 of them that are drilling oil now to keep La République du Cameroon alive, so that they can come to the United Nations and lie. We need to take out those rigs. I'm now coming out publicly. Ambazonians in the United States, because we know we have billionaires here in the US, right here in the US. You cannot watch us die. You watch your relatives die in the country, you sit quiet. I'm not casting aspersions on anybody, but I'm begging all the billionaires, and I know most of them. I know some of them, not most of them, some of them. Put out the money. You cannot say you are a cardiovascular surgeon making about $5 million a year, and you cannot come out with $1 million to save your country. Why are our people dying? So that in the end, these surgeons, these cardiovascular surgeons will come home, set up their practices, retired, live in peace, after our children have been slaughtered, including his own relatives.
What home, by the way?
And he's sitting here, Ambazonia. And you're sitting here, and you cannot give us the money. Comrade Langmi, I'm talking and you should be listening. We need $5 million to blow up those rigs.
Exactly. I support.
We need it.
I support.
Yes.
All the billionaires, we have to put out a communique inviting all the billionaires to help us. Because they are in the United States. We have billionaires in the United States. We have billionaires in Europe. We have billionaires in Japan. We have them in China. Give us the money. We need to blow up those rich. I'm talking and the United Nations is listening to me. Since you don't want to do anything to help us, we have a duty to help ourselves.
Yes.
We will fight. And when they say what last man standing, it doesn't mean that the last man will be standing. It means that until you kill all of us.
Fight.
That's what it means.
Fight back.
We'll fight back. Even if it's one man, that person will live to fight again. He will fight alone and die. So that you can take the land.
Fight until you get the